I'm Renee Rochelle, the founder and president of One True Match. I'm here to help you find and cultivate the love of your life. For over a decade, I've dedicated my life to the importance, purpose, and dynamic of human relationships. My team and I are disciplined by faith, love, and integrity to help our clients find the quality relationship they've always dreamt of. Each week, I will be sharing the tools and tips I've learned that have rooted my success as a matchmaker with other leaders around the world.
Hello, loves. Welcome back. I hope you have had an incredible week. I'm excited today to dive into what I wish I knew in my single season. I can't believe we've made it to the season finale of the series on singleness. It has been such a blessing walking through this journey with you, sharing wisdom, encouragement, and most importantly, God's truth about this beautiful season of life. Today, we're wrapping it up with something special. Testimonies from our married Christians on what they wish they had known in their single season. Plus, we'll look at biblical examples of individuals who thrived in their singleness while serving God's purpose. So grab your cup of coffee, your tea, or whatever beverage of choice you want, your journal, and let's dive in. One of the best ways to gain wisdom is to learn from those who have walked the road before us. I reached out to a few of our married couples and asked them, what's one thing you wish you had known during your single season? Their answers were so powerful, and I want to share some of them with you. First, and most important, is trusting in God's timing. Our couples, Randy and Julie, shared that they wasted so much time worrying about when they would meet the one. They wished they had trusted God's timing instead of stressing out about it. Looking back, they realized that if they had met sooner, they wouldn't have been ready for each other. God's delays are never his denials. In Ecclesiastes 3:11, it says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." That includes your love story. Number 2, embracing purpose before partnership. Another testimony came from one of our clients, Bridget, who said she spent years feeling incomplete about a relationship. But after surrendering that desire to God, she discovered that her identity wasn't in her relationship status. It was in Christ. She found purpose in serving and growing spiritually and in becoming the woman God created her to be. And guess what? That's when she met her husband, when she was fully thriving in God's plan for her. And last but not least, we need to remember to always develop healthy habits and boundaries. Our client Ben shared that he wished he had worked on his emotional and spiritual health before marriage. He admitted that bringing unhealthy wounds into a relationship made things hard. Singleness is a perfect time to work on you, to heal, to grow, and to develop the habits that will bless you in your future marriage. Proverbs 4:23 reminds us, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. The Bible is filled with people who maximized their single season for God's glory. Let's look at a few of them. Paul, a life of mission. Paul is one of the best examples of someone who used his singleness to fully pursue God's calling. In 1 Corinthians 7:32 through 35, he talks about how singleness allows for undivided devotion to the Lord. Paul didn't see singleness as a waiting period. He saw it as an opportunity to serve God wholeheartedly. Imagine if he had spent days only longing for a spouse. He wouldn't have had much of the New Testament. Ruth, a heart of faithfulness, Ruth was a widow. Yet instead of wallowing in her loss, she chose faithfulness. She stayed with Naomi, worked hard, and followed God's lead. Her faithfulness in her single series positioned her for the beautiful love story God had waiting for her with Boaz. The key, she wasn't chasing love. She was pursuing faithfulness and putting God first. Jesus, the perfect example. Of course, we can't forget Jesus. He lived a completely single life, yet his life was the most fulfilled of all. His purpose was never about finding a spouse. It was about fulfilling God's will. If singleness was good enough for the Son of God, we can trust that God has a great plan for us and it will be beautiful. So, as we close this season, I want you to remember your single season is not a holding pattern. It is not a time to sit around and wait for life to begin. It is your time to grow, to thrive, to serve, and to draw closer to God in ways that you may never get again. Marriage is beautiful, but it doesn't complete you. Only Jesus does. If you're feeling discouraged, I want to leave you with this verse, Isaiah 40:31. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Waiting on God isn't passive, it's active. So keep running, keep growing, and trust that He is leading you exactly to where you need to be. That wraps up our season of singleness. I pray that this series has blessed you, encouraged you, and challenged you to see your single season as a gift, not a burden. If this podcast has encouraged you, share it with your friends or others that could really use this message. Until next time, keep walking with faith, keep trusting in the Lord's plan, and remember, love always starts with you and God first. Next week, we are going to talk about happily ever after and beyond, thriving in marriage God's way. This is going to start and begin our marriage series. And remember, listening to this as a single person, always think about the end goal in mind. I say the trick to all of my singles is think about marriage as where you want to go to and where to thrive and learn about what that looks like when you're single. So when you meet that person, you're already enriched and prepared to be married to the right one. I hope you have a blessed week. Lots of love.
It's been another great talk on this episode of One True Talks by Renee Rochelle. I look forward to our next chat. Please write in your questions and comments so I can be sure to talk about whatever it is you want to discuss in our next upcoming episode. Lots of love. God bless. XOXO.